Hello everyone, this is Crustlemania and welcome back to the 28th week selling results video. Honestly, really surprised that this video is being made. And this week I really was prepared for 0 sales, and I will have 2 stories to tell on that. The first one hopefully will be shorter and the second one will be a bit longer. But the first story is when I mentioned in the last week's video that I only had one more card on my eBay page. This was the card, and I actually added a few other cards to my eBay page through the week that I was ready to let go of, but I didn't expect this card to sell this week, and surprisingly it did. So this card, I originally listed it on my eBay page for about $3 because I'll get to the story a little bit later, but this card eventually ended up getting bid up to about $5. So it sold for about $5, and then after sales tax, transaction fees, and the shipping label fee, I made an eBay net profit of about $3.30. So surprisingly, this card sold, and this card has a very interesting story tied to it. So this card actually was supposed to sell, I believe, at the end of October or beginning of November of 2024. I can't remember exactly. It was around the starting time of when my sales were starting to increase last year. And I thought this card was going to sell, so I was pretty happy and pretty excited as I was starting to get sales. But this was one of the cards that unfortunately was bid on, and the buyer never paid for it. And I reached out to them for about a little bit shorter than the duration of time that I actually realized for eBay, but almost about a week, and they never really sent the payment. So I had to cancel the transaction and relist this card. And when I relisted the card originally, I kind of set it at the same price, and this card had no traction on it at all. And this is actually the last card from the 30 lot Craigslist listing that I purchased. This was the very last card from that actual listing. And honestly, I thought this card would sell for the same amount as it sold for originally. And this card, I think, was on my eBay page for a good 2 to 3 months actually after the canceled transaction. And I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago, I actually changed this card from being a auction listing to a buy now for maybe two or 3 days. I wanted to give that a shot, but then I realized, I think it's better for me to do the auction just for a little bit better visibility, and I'll kind of take the risk again if someone were to pay for the card. And so originally I had this at kind of the original price that I sold this card at, I think originally, or maybe a little bit higher, and then I lowered it down to about $3 because at the end of the day I was just like, there's only one card on my eBay page, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, I'll just take it down and I'll figure out what to do with this card. But surprisingly, this card sold, and it came during the week where I only had one card, and I was really not expecting any sales at all. So the fact that this card actually got bid up too was actually very surprising to me, because for weeks no one was even looking at this card. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I'm really glad that this card sold. And thank you to the buyer that purchased this card, because you allowed me to make content for this week for sales. Honestly, I was prepared to make a video with 0 sales, just saying there were no sales this week. So surprising there. And I'm honestly really glad that this card sold. When the buyer actually paid for this card, it was kind of a big sigh of relief, just because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to go through the same issue that I had last time with the canceled order for the Salamence V. So I'm really glad that this card found its home, and honestly, I'm really glad that I was able to have one sale this week. It really was a shocker and a surpriser. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.